Okay, we've got a random hunts video coming up today, and I'm going to try to keep this intro fairly short and sweet because I want to get to the hunting, but it's going to be a little bit different today because I do not have a cameraman with me, so everything's going to be filmed solo, which does make things quite difficult because I'm not going to be able to lug that big heavy camera around. So everything is going to be filmed on scope cameras and on my iPhone, so it'll be a bit different to what you're used to seeing, but I think it'll be really great. And I've got some cool setups that I'm taking along with me today. I've got the Wildcat MkII, which you may have seen a review of recently on my channel. I've set it up with the Optizan first focal plane scope, Donnie FL silencer, Harris bipod, effective tuning magazine holders, and a Raspberry ScopeCam. So the ScopeCam, while it doesn't have the same quality as some of my other ScopeCams, recording quality that is, it's really practical. I can just press record, and because of this prism system, I can load up and shoot and look through the scope like I normally would. It doesn't affect my shooting position and my shooting style. So that's fantastic. Got this set up, got the shooting 18 grain JSBs at 900 feet per second, which the tried and tested, it's going to work. And I've also got the good old FX Impact, and I've got the Night Force SHV on the Impact. I've got a Huggett silencer, Atlas bipod, and I'm shooting 23 grain Nielsen slugs at 900 feet per second. I've got the X barrel on here, the Slug X barrel, which I'm testing. I've got on my Night Force SHV, I've got some stickers on my turrets here, which have ranges on them, so I'll be able to simply dial to whatever range I want to shoot and aim dead on and take the shot. Should be pretty good. There's not much wind today, so we may not really see the advantage of being able to shoot with the slugs over the pellets, but it'll be interesting just to see how well they fly at longer ranges. The farm we're going to, the landowner doesn't want me to get too many landmarks and stuff in, but it's a farm where there's some buildings due for demolition, and there's a lot of pigeons living in the roof of the building, and doves and stuff. So we're going to try shoot some pigeons and doves there, maybe get some long shots in, and let's see if we can find some other birds as well. There are some dams there, maybe we'll find some geese that we can shoot. It is goose hunting season right now, and we'll see what else we can get, but it should be interesting. Let's go out there, let's get to it. Before we jump into the hunting, I do want to mention that the slug liners for the Smooth Twist X barrel system will be available very, very soon. Testing is complete. FX and myself worked together to develop these liners specifically for the Nielsen Specialty Ammo slugs, and I'm super excited for you guys to get hold of these because they are absolutely potent at long range. I measured these BCs with a Doppler radar out to 75 meters, and they are far better than any 22, 25 or 30 caliber pellets. So you'll have something that can beat the wind without chewing up your air supply. I'll be making plenty more videos explaining the benefits of shooting with high BC projectiles, but for now, let's get to the hunting. Right, so we're out with the Wildcat, and we're in an area here with lots of thick bush. So I think the plan's pretty simple. The doves really like these bushes, especially these wattle trees, which are actually introduced from Australia. They're alien trees, but the doves seem to love them. They love to sit in these throughout the day and then fly around and actually feed off the ground around the trees. The plan is basically to walk. I can see some doves flying here at the moment actually. Just cover some ground on foot, and if we see something, we'll set up with the Wildcat and take a few shots. There is actually a bit of a breeze today, a bit more than I expected. If this doesn't work out with the Wildcat, what we'll do is we'll get the impact out and see what we can do there, but let's see how we go with the Wildcat. Well, there you go, that's first blood with the Wildcat. I'm very happy with that. That shot ended up looking pretty good, so we'll have to check the footage and see how the shot was placed, but the dove dropped on the spot, so I'm happy with that. As you can see here, I mentioned earlier that I am dialing, and there you go. So I just turn the turrets to where I need them to be, in this case about 50 meters, and it's pretty straightforward from there. Load up, aim dead on, pull the trigger. There's another 5 doves just flying over there, so I'm going to just watch them, see where they land, and maybe head in that general direction. Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened there. I thought I was on him. I thought it was going to be a perfect shot, and it just wasn't. Had to put a second one in him. I've literally just shot groups with this gun at 100 meters and it's shooting just over 1 MOA, even in this wind. So I can't see how that could have been the gun's fault. So it must have been me. Maybe I just didn't read the conditions properly. Maybe the wind's a little bit more than I thought it would be. But wasn't a great shot. So I think maybe at this point I'm going to change guns. I'm happy with what the Wildcat is capable of doing. I'm just really curious to see how the Slugs will do. I have a feeling they're going to cut through this wind like it's nothing. So let's change guns and let's see what we can do. I spot this guy sitting in a tree. This is a black-collared barbet, and this is one of the species that I don't shoot, so I leave him well alone. But the invasive European starlings aren't so safe when I'm around. Unfortunately, I pull this shot a little bit to the left and it just nicks his feathers. Okay, it's been fun with the Wildcat, but we're gonna change to the impact now. We've been out for maybe 45 minutes with the Wildcat. Really haven't seen that much. And there are also one or two little dams here, so I'm going to take a look at those maybe later this evening when the geese come in and like to sit around the dam, and we'll see if we can get any of those. Round 2, just went back to the truck to fetch the good old FX Impact. With this gun I'm a little bit more comfortable taking the much longer shots, and with this the stickers I've got in these turrets over here, I can actually get out to about 115 meters, whereas on the other gun I can only get to about 100 meters. Even though they're shooting at the same velocity and now zeroed at the same distance, so that says something about the BC and how much difference it makes. You know, it just allows you to reach out a little bit further with the same adjustments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk towards those old buildings where I'm expecting to see pigeons and starlings, and I'm going to set up probably about 100 meters away, maybe a little bit closer than that, and we'll see if we can spot anything. Find a nice shady spot and see if I can find them. Let's do it. Through the corner of my eye I see a spotted bird walking through the bushes, but it's just a little dickhop and I leave him well alone. Right, I found my nice shady spot, and now it's just a matter of waiting, I suppose. I've got some little wires and cables and rooftops and trees and everything all around us here, so it's a nice spot to actually wait and sit, and I'm going to just maybe take my time to range each potential spot so that if a bird does appear I can act pretty quickly. It does take a while to set up the ScopeCam and stuff, but I've got my impact here right next to me, so that's all I really need. It's just a matter of waiting, I suppose. I get to take 2 shots in a row here, and I'm not very steady on either shot, but they both connect with the vitals and they do their job. The first shot was from about 60 meters and the second shot from about 45 meters. Well, that is 2 birds down. That was fantastic. I'm having a lot of fun here. Let's go find those birds and see what the slugs did. Well, here's the first bird here. Dropped right on the spot. Really happy with that. So we'll take this one back. It looks nice and healthy. In fact, all of these birds that feed in the bushes here are very healthy. They're not those dirty city pigeons that you used to seeing in the cities, but that's a nice, good looking bird. And the other one must be around here. Ah, there you go. There's our second bird. Again, another perfect shot. Let's see where this one got hit. Right there, perfect through the vitals, in and out. This is our first 2 does of the day. I suppose we just got to keep going. There's a dove right here, like 10 meters away, 15 meters away. So I'm going to put the phone down, see if I can get him. This one should have been really straightforward, but I totally forgot to dial back to 0 after that 60-meter shot earlier, so this one gets hit quite high. 43 foot-pounds does the job though, and he's done in a few seconds. Damn it, I was hoping to go collect that dove, but the bird got to it before me. I don't know if that was a hawk or a falcon or what. I'll have to check the bird book when I get home, but swooped down, took the bird, must have been waiting for me to shoot it, and flew off with it, and that's the end of the bird, so we're not going to be able to retrieve him. But I'm happy so far. We've managed to get a few down. Impact's been performing wonderfully, and only thing we don't have yet are the long shots, so let's wait and see, maybe we'll get an opportunity. Now this is where things get fun. I spot a couple rock pigeons on the roof of a storage shed, and this is a pretty cool shot because the roof was in the way of most of his body and I had to go for a neck shot. This wasn't easy from about 50 meters, but the slug hits exactly where I want it, and he doesn't take a step. And before I know it, the starlings return, and one of them gives me a great opportunity from 85 meters. I dial the scope to the 85 meter mark, I back off a click or two to account for the incline angle, and I watch that slug curl in perfectly. And how perfect was that shot? Oh my word, 85 meters, I think that's just over 90 yards. And yeah, dialed the scope first of all to 85, put the crosshairs dead on him, pulled the trigger, and the wind did nothing to that slug. Just curled in perfectly, and that starling dropped on the spot. So I am super happy. Yeah, when you guys get hold of these barrels, it's going to be a real treat. It's a really nice combination, and yeah, I'm not going to even bother retrieving that starling. The other birds of prey will clean it up. It's not the kind of bird you'd want to eat. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to call it. It's been a fantastic day. Maybe didn't get quite the volume of doves I'd wanted to, especially with the Wildcat. I was hoping to get a few more with that gun and with that ScopeCam, but it just didn't work out like that. But I'm happy. Yeah, a few birds down, and I'm going to call it there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back maybe tomorrow evening and go to one of those dams and set up and see if we can get one or two Egyptian geese. And I'm actually going to bring my MkII as well, just for a little bit extra knockdown power, and we'll see, take the impact, maybe impact with slugs and MkII, and see what we can do with that combination. I did end up getting a few geese the next evening, but with the light running out, I didn't full match, just a few ScopeCam shots. I start off with the FX Streamline here, shooting 18 grain JSBs, and I decided to go for a headshot on this first goose, and it does the job pretty well. The second goose gets a 23 grain Nielsen slug to the body from about 70 meters out from my FX crown, and I'm definitely more comfortable taking body shots with the slugs because they retain their energy so well. This goose was down and out in about 3 seconds. And this poor guy at the end gets a 36 grain Cuban slug at 80 foot-pounds out the K1. This thing is a absolute hammer, and again, this goose is pretty much done within 3 seconds. Once again, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully by the time you see this, the FX Slug Liners will be in full production and available to you soon. See you next time.